Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This will be the first mock showcase video I do. So yeah, this is actually, so you guys know I've been talking about this for a while. I've been wanting to make mock showcases, so this is the first one. But this was actually for Empire Lug. Quite a few months back in, I'm gonna say March or so. I actually really enjoyed building this. It took a long time, a lot of parts, quite a bit of money, but also parts I already had on hand, and I just hadn't used them in the way I wanted to yet. So yeah, let's kind of get into it. So the primary goal with this was, for the contest, was to come up with a build where basically it's nature versus like sci-fi. I believe that's what it was. So that's exactly what I kind of went for here. I'm actually pretty proud of this build, I won't lie. But yeah, really like the way it turned out. It took me a while to get to this point with this build, just because of how many parts it took and all that stuff, and parts I had on hand as well. So yeah. So I've really been liking coral a lot lately, as you guys saw in my last mock update video. But I really like, this is actually coral. It shows off very strange in the video itself. It's weird for the camera. But yeah, so I wanted to do coral and teal together. And then a guy on Instagram actually told me, Brickopotamus, told me I should try to go for nougat. And so that's what I did here. So yeah. Like I said, this took me a while to build. A lot of brainstorming, a lot of different iterations of the build, and what I went for in the first place. So things were scrapped, things were added. So there's that. But so with the coral stuff, you probably wonder, where did all it come from? So basically, I went to the Lego store quite a few years back, whatever, and they had a bunch of these on the wall, which were the quarter tiles. And then like, I would say probably last year, they had the plates. So I went ahead and got those as well, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna think about something to do. And so my main goal was, I wanted to use these pieces here, actually. These are video cases, which you guys can, weren't a very popular theme, but they had some really cool uses I'd seen some people do in the Lego community at the time. So yeah, so my main goal was to use them like this, but like make like futuristic buildings or habitats, I don't know what you could say, with them. So yeah, really proud of this build. So I guess I'll get into like some of the techniques I use and stuff like that as well. So there's that. So we'll get on to the simple stuff, I guess. For these buildings, actually, they actually just sit in the spot where they're at. I made these little alien type things, basically. I made three of them in total. Kind of like xenomorph or etc., whatever it may be. And just use the video boxes and the case piece. Use some L bars there for putting the spokes for the tire, or the rim of the tires. Use those, and then we kind of just did this on the bottom. But yeah, so there's that. Another thing too. So wanted a cool little transition. So what I went for basically was this cheese slope tech, where basically I just used cheese slopes and just kind of, you know, put them in different directions and stuff like that along the way. It's very parts intensive, but it was actually really worth it for the time. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is like a strange little planet. I wanted to try some different things. So yeah, so I guess you could say, so the story behind this build, I should have said this in the beginning. The story behind this build is that this explorer right here is searching for something. And I don't know what they crashed. You kind of decide what the story is. As you can see, there's the trees here. But they are encountering an alien here, as they have a bone. Say it like a human bone. So there's like some blood with the knife here, with this little table. Just kind of using some basic stuff. So it's like I think it's headlight bricks. Yep, headlight bricks, and then a snot brick with 2 studs on the side, and a 1x3 there. So there's that. But yeah. Also too, I forgot to mention this as well, but I used a lot of this piece here. This is actually from the Lots of Dots, the first iteration of the set. Not the lettering one, which is the newest one, but this one. And I actually really enjoyed using these around, and this is my first time trying to do like free form in a way where it wasn't just, you know, flat. So I tried to do some different things with that, whatever it may be. I've seen people do this before. It just looks really good. And then this could be like this smoke just from the planet, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's like volcanic activity or something, maybe hence why this is like medium nougat or something like that. Like this is different color compared to everything else. So yeah, and then we got these little pools of water here, which I thought were cool. These actually aren't trans blue. These are trans medium blue, or dark blue. They're not dark blue. They are trans light blue, translucent light blue. So there's that. And I decided to use these hidden side hair pieces, which I'd seen somebody would use before, I believe. There's that. So yeah, pretty cool, I think. So there's that. And then we got this building here. This is another one, but it's just taller. So I used some pretty basic techniques here. So as you can see, it can just kind of come off here. I just wanted it to be able to, you know, stay there for the time. So I just had a little hole in the bottom there so it could support it. And this is kind of a basic stud reversal, I believe, from what I can gather here. So yeah, let's see if I can try to do this one-handed. Sorry about that. So I want to be able to show you guys the techniques I used for this build. So yeah, so these are some of the techniques I used. As you can tell, it doesn't matter what colors you use in your builds on the back, as long as it's not seen. So I primarily use red because I have a lot of red. And then I started to use some other coral stuff just because I had it. So there's that. And then we got a look at some Greebles. I got inspired by a lot of people on Instagram with like their Greebles and such. And I had some parts on hand I wanted to try and use again. I used this one in the past build. And then we got these dark bluish gray heads, minifigure heads, and then these oxygen tank headgear pieces, and I used them for Greebles for that. So there's that. And then there's this one here. So these using arches. And then we got boat tiles in the back, using quarter tiles as well as pistol pieces and these clips, clip pieces and jumpers as well on top of that. So yeah, I basically repeated that twice on both sides. And again, you're probably wondering how I even did this. Basically, all I did was use a bar piece here, there, and clip them in. So there's that. And then a friend of mine was telling me I should try something like this here, for some like buttons or some just, you know, anything. It wouldn't really matter what it is. But yeah, so I decided to use these. These are just lightsaber blades. So I got orange, red, and translight blue. And it works really well, especially in the light. So I find that quite cool. So there's that. And then there's this as well, more Greebles. Decided to use more sled pieces. Yeah, these are used in a lot of Star Wars builds and such. Another pistol piece, a 2L bar, which is a new piece, the clip, and brackets. Brackets are your friends when it comes to buildings and such. If you want to do snot and yeah, like that. And then I used one of these, which because you could do this basically with quarter tiles and regular tiles, I guess, as well as these teeth ones, stadium tiles, as I believe they call them. So there's that. So yeah, it's a lot better to you can use these or the quarter tiles. That way you don't have to buy more pieces. So there's that. Really liked putting this together. Again, I did the same thing here with the pod piece, not T-bars with in white. So there's that. So yeah, and then okay, we'll get on to the freeform, which I believe is the most important part of this because that's what makes this mock really. So basically what I did here is, since Lego does not make 1x2 version of snot bricks, I used quite a lot of, as you can tell, of this 2x2 modified brick with 2 studs on the side. And then I used 2x2 plates with the cheese slope and regular slope. You can literally do this with any kind of like terrain or whatever. But what you don't want to do is have it like straight or like going like this and keep going or whatever. Want to have it like natural, so it goes up and then down or so. It doesn't really matter as long as it follows a pattern, I believe. And you can use all kinds of pieces for the terrain as well, which I find is a lot better than using multiple of the same, because it can get more in-depth, I suppose you can say. So there's that. And then like with these cheese slopes here, which I'll just do this really quick. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Like I said, these cheese slopes here, I use them like this. And you don't need a plate or a tile or anything. You just set them in here because that's half plate offset. And it's the same height. So you can just stick that in there. Just like that. Just like this. It's a little finicky when you do it, I'll be honest. But it works really well. when you actually get it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. So this is not like my technique or anything. I think it looks really good, rounded out in certain areas. So yeah, there's that. And then for the trees, actually, so for these, all I basically did, I used flex tube, minifigure hands, olive green branches, these lavender 3-leaf pieces, a DC minifig piece, these Friends butterflies, which I had quite a few of, from just picking them up at the place where I go for my secondhand Lego. I just picked them up kind of just randomly, or I had them in my collection already, I'm not sure. But I just thought they added a little bit more of a pop. So I added on the top, and I think it looks good. But I basically just used an Apollo stud at the bottom. So what these are called. It's where there's a stud with a hole in it. So there's that. And then I also, so I did that with both of them. These were actually quite finicky because they wouldn't stay sometimes. Like this one, I'm pretty sure is out. Yeah, this one's just hanging there like that. It wasn't like that before. But it just basically is bending some flex tube and getting these angles. It doesn't really matter as long as it makes sense, I suppose. And then I decided to use these pieces, which are actually used for grapes, etc. And all that. It could be for smoke. It doesn't really matter. But I thought it added a little bit different to the build. And I just think it looked pretty good in general. So there's that. And then we got, sorry, this is a long video, but you guys have probably been wondering about this. So yeah. So then I decided to use these 3-leaf pieces again because I had these in bulk, I suppose you could say. And then I had these as well. But all I basically did was I used one of these 3-leaf stems and then put one of these medium nougat headlight bricks, not bricks, to the side and just did that. You can also do this with jumpers. It doesn't really matter. I think I did it with jumpers a few times. Actually, now I think about it, I can't exactly remember. So there's that. And then we got, this is a Friends hair piece as well. I thought this matched well with everything else. So yeah, I was trying to do some NPUs or nice piece usage for it. And I just flipped it around. So there's that. And then, yeah, see, did the same thing here. And then, like I said, I tried to put in a little bit of teal everywhere. Really fun to do that. So, yeah, like this one, I'm probably, not that one. That one, I like quite all of these, honestly. Some just turned out better than others because of time constraints and everything else for this build. So, yeah, I also decided, since I actually found these again up at the secondhand Lego store where I go normally, I saw these. I was like, I just put them in my bin and decided to use them for this build. For like a mineral or something, if they wanted to come and, you know, mine this building, or not building, this planet. So, yeah. And then I just added a basic black border to the back because I didn't know if I wanted to add more to it. But I just added it along the side. I thought it looked good. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this mock showcase. It's been a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So, trying to think of other stuff. So, I guess for the alien, actually, this alien actually uses one of the dewback eyes, or I think it's brickheads too. as you know, Dewback eyes from a set a while back, with the Travis brick and several of these Venom like vines, and then stamp pieces as well, as you can see here. Black minifigure heads, a stamp piece here, one of these BB-8 droid heads as well, and then a bone. I basically did that 3 different times. And then there's this one here as well. This one's upside down, but yeah, I wanted to make it stand up, so that's why it's kind of like this. That way, you know, it could stand up in the top of the, you know, up here basically, so it can be seen. I thought the added effect of this being like clouded was pretty cool, and I thought it looked good. So yeah, so we got this one as well, and yeah. So I think, I'm trying to think, I think that is everything for this. If there's anything else you guys have about this build, let me know. And I will catch you all in the next one. Deuces.